In 1997, a woman in Florida called 911 to complain that McDonald's ran out of Chicken McNuggets during her order, demanding police intervention because she considered it a nugget emergency that required immediate law enforcement response. Welcome to the only countdown where human intelligence goes to die. I'm your host, and today we're watching 25 of the most spectacularly stupid customer complaints from all over the world, ever documented by news outlets, government agencies, and businesses brave enough to share their pain with the world. These aren't just weird complaints or strange requests, these are genuine laugh until your sides hurt, question the future of humanity moments that actually happened. Let's go! 25. In 2019, a customer in Michigan called the police to report that Subway stole from him because his foot-long sandwich measured only 11 inches, as documented by local news station Wood TV8. The man demanded a full criminal investigation into what he called substandard sandwich fraud, apparently unaware that class action lawsuits about sandwich lengths had already been settled years earlier. I guess some people measure their sandwiches the same way they measure their expectations, but with wildly unrealistic standards. 24. According to a 2018 report by the UK's Trading Standards Office, a woman complained to authorities that her local grocery store was discriminating against her because they wouldn't accept her emotional support peacock as a valid form of payment for groceries. She argued that since the peacock was registered as an emotional support animal, it should have the same purchasing power as a credit card. Apparently, someone forgot to tell her that emotional support doesn't extend to emotional spending. 23. In 2020, the Better Business Bureau documented a complaint from a Texas man who demanded a refund from Netflix because the service failed to pause when he went to the bathroom, causing him to miss crucial plot points in his favorite show. He argued that Netflix should have sensed his absence and automatically paused the content. Netflix's customer service probably needed their own emotional support animals after that call. 22. A 2017 case reported by the Australian Competition and Consumer Commission involved a woman who sued a local restaurant for false advertising because their bottomless mimosas brunch deal didn't actually provide unlimited alcohol when she passed out after the 7th drink. She claimed the restaurant should have warned her that human stomachs have limits, unlike their marketing promises. Turns out the only thing truly bottomless was her sense of entitlement. 21. In 2016, according to the Federal Communications Commission, a man from Ohio filed an official complaint against his cable company because his wife kept changing the channel during commercial breaks, and he wanted the company to install a marriage counseling feature that would lock the remote during arguments. He paid the $540 FCC filing fee for this request. That's the most expensive relationship advice in history, and probably the least effective. 20. The European Consumer Center reported in 2018 that a British tourist complained to Spanish authorities because the beaches in Barcelona had too much sand, and demanded the city install more concrete areas for people who don't like getting their feet dirty at the beach. He also suggested they add carpeting to the ocean floor for a more civilized swimming experience. I'm starting to think some people would complain about water being too wet. 19. In 2019, Seattle's Department of Consumer Affairs documented a complaint from a woman who called 911 because Starbucks spelled her name wrong on her coffee cup. Not once, but every single day for 3 weeks. She demanded police intervention to force the barista to attend name recognition training at taxpayer expense. Her name was Jennifer. Apparently, the only thing more complex than her coffee order was her relationship with reality. 18. According to a report by the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, a man in Toronto complained that his internet service was discriminating against his cat because the Wi-Fi signal was weaker near the litter box, causing his pet's automated feeder to malfunction. He demanded the company install a feline-friendly network, specifically for his cat's smart devices. At this point, I'm convinced some pets have more common sense than their owners. 17. In 2018, the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection received a complaint from a man who sued a local deli because they refused to honor his emotional distress when they ran out of his favorite sandwich. He argued that since he had been eating the same sandwich for 5 years, the deli had created an implied sandwich contract and owed him damages for the psychological trauma of menu unavailability. The only thing more disappointing than a sold-out sandwich is apparently this guy's understanding of contract law. 16. A 2019 case documented by the UK's Advertising Standards Authority involved a woman who complained that a furniture store's lifetime warranty was false advertising because she planned to be reincarnated after death and expected the warranty to cover her future lives. She demanded the company clarify their policy on post-mortem furniture coverage across multiple incarnations. I guess some people take customer for life way too literally. 15. In 2017, 2017, according to the Federal Trade Commission, a Florida man filed a complaint against Amazon because his Alexa device refused to laugh at his jokes, which he considered a breach of their customer service standards. He demanded a software update that would make Alexa more emotionally supportive of his comedy attempts, and threatened to sue for digital discrimination against aspiring comedians. Even artificial intelligence has better taste in humor than some people. 14. The French Consumer Protection Agency reported in 2020 that a customer complained to a Paris restaurant because their French onion soup wasn't made by actual French people, calling it cultural appropriation in liquid form. He demanded to see citizenship papers for every chef involved in the soup-making process and wanted a discount for what he called nationality fraud. Apparently, authenticity has gotten so complicated that soup needs a passport now. 13. In 2018, the German Federal Office of Consumer Protection documented a case where a man complained that his local gym discriminated against him because the mirrors made him look fat. He demanded the facility install more flattering mirrors and threatened legal action for reflection-based harassment. He also wanted compensation for the psychological damage caused by accurate reflections. The mirrors were probably just doing their job, reflecting reality back at someone who clearly wasn't ready for it. 12. According to a 2019 report by Japan's Consumer Affairs Agency, a tourist complained to Tokyo authorities because the city's vending machines didn't accept his thoughts as payment, arguing that his strong desire for a drink should be enough currency in a technologically advanced society. He spent 45 minutes trying to telepathically purchase a Coca-Cola before calling authorities to report the machines as mentally discriminatory. I'm impressed he managed to operate his phone while being that disconnected from reality. 11. In 2020, the Irish Competition and Consumer Protection Commission received a complaint from a woman who sued her local movie theater because the film didn't match her expectations after she watched a horror movie thinking it was a romantic comedy, despite the clearly marked genre, rating, and trailer. She demanded refunds for her ticket, popcorn, and therapy sessions needed to recover from unexpected scary scenes. Sometimes the real horror is sitting in the same theater as people who can't read. 10. A 2018 case reported by the Australian Communications and Media Authority involved a man who complained to his phone company because his smartphone refused to make him smarter despite its name. He argued that after 6 months of ownership, he should have gained measurable intelligence and demanded either a refund or enrollment in a free university program as compensation. The irony is so thick you could cut it with a flip phone. 9. In 2017, according to the U.S. Postal Service Inspector General's office, a woman filed an official complaint because her mail carrier delivered mail to her mailbox instead of personally handing it to her each day with a good morning greeting and weather update. She considered a mailbox delivery to be impersonal service and demanded daily face-to-face mail presentations with small talk included. She basically wanted to turn her mail carrier into a personal butler with benefits. 8. The Swiss Federal Office for Consumer Affairs documented in 2019 a complaint from a tourist who sued a Swiss chocolate company because their chocolate didn't make him as happy as advertised. He tracked his mood for 30 days while eating their chocolate and presented charts showing insufficient happiness levels compared to the marketing promises. He demanded either stronger chocolate or a happiness guarantee. The only thing bitter about Swiss chocolate apparently is some of its customers. 7. In 2020, according to the Italian Competition Authority, a man complained that his local pizzeria was culturally insensitive because they wouldn't put pineapple on his pizza, claiming the restaurant was discriminating against his Hawaiian heritage. The complaint became more interesting when investigators discovered he was born and raised in Detroit and had never been to Hawaii. His idea of cultural heritage was apparently as authentic as his pizza topping preferences. 6. The Danish Consumer Ombudsman reported in 2018 that a woman complained to authorities because her local library's silence policy violated her freedom of speech rights, arguing that her loud phone conversations were a form of oral expression that should be protected under communication laws. She demanded the library create a talking section where she could conduct business calls while reading. Libraries have been quiet for centuries, but apparently she missed that memo. 5. In 2019, according to the Belgian Consumer Protection Service, a customer complained that his local bank's ATM was discriminating against his left-handedness because the card slot was on the right side of the machine. He demanded the installation of ambidextrous ATMs and compensation for years of right-handed oppression every time he accessed his account. He also wanted left-handed customer service representatives. The only thing left about this complaint is common sense. 4. A 2020 case documented by the Norwegian Consumer Authority involved a man who sued a local weather service because their forecast was wrong, causing him to wear shorts on a rainy day. He argued that weather predictions should come with clothing guarantees and demanded compensation for his wet legs and the social embarrassment of inappropriate attire. He apparently expected expected meteorologists to control the weather, not just predict it. 3. In 2018, the Netherlands Authority for Consumers and Markets received a complaint from a woman who demanded a refund from a theme park because the roller coaster didn't cure her fear of heights, as she expected. She argued that the adrenaline rush should have provided therapeutic value and made her braver in everyday situations. Instead, she became more afraid and wanted damages for reverse psychology treatment. Sometimes the only thing scarier than a roller coaster is the people riding it, too. According to a 2019 report by the Swedish Consumer Agency, a man complained to his internet service provider because Google search results weren't reading his mind correctly and demanded they fix their thought-to-search translation algorithm. He spent 2 hours on customer service explaining that when he thought about cats, Google should automatically show cat pictures without him typing anything. He wanted a telepathic internet upgrade. The future apparently isn't arriving fast enough for some people's impossible expectations. 1. In 2020, the UK's Competition and Markets Authority documented the ultimate customer complaint. A man who sued his own reflection in a store's security mirror for following him around the store without permission and copying his every movement without consent. He demanded the store remove all mirrors or pay him licensing fees for his unauthorized image reproduction throughout the shopping experience. He also wanted his reflection to sign a non-disclosure agreement. Security cameras captured him arguing with himself for 27 minutes before store management asked him to leave. This man literally had a problem with himself and somehow made it everyone else's fault. And there you have it, 25 customer complaints so spectacularly stupid they make you appreciate every reasonable interaction you've ever had with another human being. These aren't just complaints, they're masterpieces of misplaced confidence and weaponized ignorance. The next time you think you're having a bad day, just remember, somewhere out there, someone is probably arguing with their own shadow about customer service standards. If these complaints made you laugh, made you grateful for your common sense, or made you question the future of human evolution, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to feel better about their own decision-making skills. And hey, if you've ever encountered a complaint that could make this list, drop it in the comments. Because apparently, the bar for human stupidity is a limbo contest where everyone's trying to go lower.